Yes.
Rob, you look familiar, brother.
I'm from the Lower East Side, Smith Projects, grown and raised. Karate, many, many years. Tattoo on my arm to prove it. Also rank. Stepped out, was in and out, but that's the area I'm from. I work for housing, so I was in many developments throughout my career, which is the Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan. So maybe that might be in the clubs.
The clubs.
Yeah, another attribute to give to my Sensei, because he's the one who started me in the club business, and which was lucrative through the years, helped out through the years.
Right.
Yeah, he had told me and showed me a lot of ways to work clubs and deal with people and be social and everything like that.
I used to take Sensei Booger Rob, and his real name is Robert Donnelly.
Yes.
But we call him Big Booger.
Yes.
Big guy, he'll tear you apart. And I remember as a young youth in his late teens, I would take him to the clubs with me and let him see what I would do and how I handle situations.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would take a couple of my black belts with me, and he was one of them. And he wound up, liking it and seeing the money that could be made. And he went on his own and started working in a lot of different clubs. And for a long time.
Also, I had the pleasure to work with my Sensei many times as well. But let me add to that. First would come respect and honor. When that wasn't, how can I say it, received on the other party, then, I got to see some things, some techniques that we had in class and that we learned through the years. But it was always first respect and honor, and then, they take it to another level. So, you have to follow up.
Right.
Always,
yeah.
always.
Well, that's what bouncing is about. That's for sure.
Yeah. Even before the rules and the IDs and all of that came about, that was the same thing with the training, diligently, excuse me. But, with respect, honor, and God come first, and it was just great, to have both worlds, security as well as being trained.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I always looked up to him as an older brother, never as like a father, as an older brother. And, it was just great experience. So I'm so happy that it's going this route. And I'm able to, and I'm very loyal to my instructor, my Sensei.
Yeah. You actually never trained with anybody else, just trained with me, right? Since 1978.
Yep.
1978. Long time, man. Long time. What year did you start as a bouncer? Do you remember? Insecurity.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I know I started housing in 89. I think maybe a year into that, maybe like 90, in the mid 90s is when I was, rest in peace, Milton and Jose. They got me into working in the club. Yes.
Big check.
Yeah. And since then, I've been working like Le Poulet, Copacabana, Latin Quarters.
Les Poulet.
Yes.
Les Poulet and Latin Quarters, and that's where I know you from.
Okay. Now, which Le Poulet? Because
the one on 22nd Street.
Yes, between 5th and 6th.
Did you work with the twins?
Years.
Did you work with Frank and Mikey's twin?
Yeah. I worked with both of them.
Yeah.
I work with Luis Ruiz. I don't know if you known him, Big John.
Which John? Maldonado?
I think it is. Yeah, Maldonado.
Glasses.
Oh no.
From Brooklyn? No.
He's from Brooklyn, but I didn't see him with glasses unless he took them off.
Is he Spanish or white?
He's Puerto Rican.
Maybe if I saw him.
And Louis Ruiz is a kickbox champion.
I think you guys are talking about the same gentleman. John Maldonado. I believe you're talking about the same gentleman. And by the way, let's talk a little bit about Ruiz, kickboxing champion.
Bad boy Luis Ruiz. Yeah.
Bad boy Luis Ruiz. He was a kickboxing champion. He fought Orlando Rivera a few times for the title. I think 2 or 3 times they fought. They had some wars. Luis Ruiz is a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. Actually, I came up just a little bit before Luis when I was fighting. Actually, I came along with his instructor Steve Valencia. We was fighting at the same time back in the
Remember you
mid
mentioned that name.
70s. Yeah, Steve Valencia. Actually, Steve Valencia and I signed to fight in 1979, 1980. And he hurt his ankle in training, and it didn't go through. We were signed to fight at the Beacon Theater,
Wow.
an 8-rounder, and it didn't go through. And Luis Ruiz came up a little bit later. Really nice guy, tough competitor, man.
Yeah.
Really a good guy.
Oh yeah. I worked with him for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Many years.
He still puts on he puts on MMA shows now.
Yeah, he has a lot of shows and a lot of guys that men and women that he trains, for those fights. And John Maldonado has a champion right now, if that's the same one.
No, he wasn't a martial artist, the guy I'm talking about.
No, but he has a boxing champion, a female. He was into boxing a lot. He wasn't into martial arts.
He might have been big guy, like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he was like maybe around 6'1",
6'1", 6'2". He was the owner of John's Boxing Gym in the Bronx.
No, it had to be a different guy.
Yeah, he was the original owner, John Maldonado. He was the original owner of John's Boxing Gym, and he has a female fighter. I forget her name now, and she's a champion. She was a world champion. I think she just lost her title recently. She was undefeated for a while, and she just fought in the controversial fight, and she lost. But back on the security tip of this, Sensei, we know that you've been in the business for a long time, and name a couple of the clubs that I know you said a few names, but you just brushed by it. But for the audience, name a couple of the clubs that you were a part of doing security and protecting.
Well, I started working Le Poulet, and I did that for 8 years. It was every weekend, sometimes from Thursday to Saturday. Then after that, I had a good friend that branched off, and he became head of security of Copacabana, which was the original, not the original one, the one that was on 57th between 11th and 12th.
Talking about Red?
Red, yes. Yep. Very good friend of mine.
Good man.
Red. Yeah.
Good man.
And we did many years, me, him, Milton, and a couple of other people. And then from there, I went to Latin Quarters with JT, and I would do like bars. I did giggles. I did, a lot of parties, throughout Brooklyn, Manhattan. And there was one which I had the privilege to work with my